As we are now approaching the end of Ramadan, we have read just now the dua of Wida from Imam Zainul Abidin Salawatullah Salamu Alayhi. And immediately after this, the main problem that faces the Ummah is about the moon. And that is why even in the Risala, Ayatullah Al-Khuyi, immediately after finishing the Masail of Ramadan, starts with Masail of Ru'ya and Masail of sighting of the moon. But before we do that, within few minutes that we have at our disposal, what we have said just now to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is that the departure of the month of Ramadan to us has created a lot of sorrow and grief. It was a guest which lived with us very gracefully, honorably. It allowed us to refrain from many sins. And there were many good acts which we normally do not do, we did in the month of Ramadan. And Ya Allah, it was a good companion which is now leaving us, and we do not know whether we will be able to meet him again next year. But if we will meet him again, if you will that we may live long enough to meet the month of Ramadan again next year, Ya Allah, let that be with full preparation and health that we may receive the month again. In the meantime, Ya Allah, let the day of Eid al-Fitr be a day of forgiveness for us. Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib salawatullah salamu alayhi said that many people have not understood the philosophy of Eid. They feel that Eid is a day of as if liberation. A prisoner has been freed and now he is capable of doing whatever he was unable to do. It is not that sort of day when a man is given a license to do all the sins as if he were to take a revenge from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's not so. It's a day of spiritual fulfillment. And this is exactly what Imam Hassan alayhi salam also told the people when he saw them. He said, rejoice by all means. Have joy and pleasure on this day by all means. But do not forget that this is the day on which you are repaid whatever you have done during the Ramadan. This is the day of reparation. And here, try to see that you receive the best award from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The best gift after having given fitrah. Pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He may accept all that has gone by and He may save us from the pitfalls of sin from the days to come. And then Mawla says in Nahjul Balagha, during the year, any day on which you have done the minimum of sins, that is your Eid day. Only if I can take a stock of my deeds at night when I go to sleep and find out if it has been a day of minimum sins, then that is also a day of Eid. The philosophy is that Eid al-Fitr is not a day of encouraging our children to do whatever they like, but to tell them to rejoice within the limits of Sharia. And that is the best thing to tell our children and our families. Inshallah ta'ala, Allah will make this day a day of barakah for all of us. A day on which all the adversities and bala, inshallah, will be averted from all mu'mineen, mu'minat, wherever they are. And we will have a day of rejoicing on Eid al-Fitr for whatever we have been able to do in the month of Ramadan. Not for having now said farewell to the month of fasting, but for whatever little we have been able to do, may Allah accept it. As far as the moon was concerned, it is my duty to make it very clear that although it is not impossible that Thursday will be Eid, but I am surprised receiving telephone calls today, many Shia Ithna Asharis asking me, is it Eid tomorrow? Either they are pulling my leg or they are very serious. In either of the cases, there is no Eid tomorrow. Tomorrow is 29th of Ramadan, al-Mubarak, and there is no Eid tomorrow. How come Saudi Arabia has observed? Saudi Arabia is not our hujjah, is not our dalil, is not any evidence. Well, I don't want to go into details of who does what, for what reasons. There is some political axe to grind somewhere. There is somewhere anything that you may say. But the most surprising thing, which I would say for this era which we are living in, the era of science, is that the new moon, even if we take their philosophy of the birth of moon, there is no birth of moon tonight. The birth of moon will take place tomorrow morning after 5 o'clock. How there will be Eid tomorrow anywhere, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows. The new moon will be born tomorrow morning at 5 o'clock in London. So in countries east to us, it will be born at about 3 o'clock, somewhere at 4 o'clock in the morning. There is no chance of moon being sighted during the night. And therefore, if any part of the world does Eid east to London, eastwards to London, it is only by stubbornness, obstinacy, and of course not acceding to even scientific information that we have. Now people ask me, what will you do tomorrow? So tomorrow, till midnight, please do not ring me and do not contact me. I am not going to answer any telephone calls, because I am 100% sure there is no moon tomorrow night in this country and east to this country. That is for my assurance. I am not trying to impose anything upon you, but please do not contact me for anything before that. I shall be at your disposal after 12:30. If you hear that moon has sighted in Toronto or Canada, any part, or Chicago, not up to the extreme of West Coast, but where we share the night and some parts of night, if not full, if you hear and if you are satisfied, let us convey to each other the information. But before that, if anyone tells you that we have seen in Timbuktu or Lamu or Kunduchi Beach or wherever, I am very sorry to be rude, but it will be a lie, a fabrication. Because moon here tomorrow night will be only 14 hours old. No moon under 17-hour-old can be seen. Secondly, in this country, the distance between sunset and moonset will be 17 minutes. So it's out of question. And to the east, it will be still worse. Therefore, either if you see a moon anywhere eastwards, it will be only a figment of our imagination. It cannot be moon. In this world of science, where Ayatollah Khoi himself has told us clearly, where scientific information of falak can satisfy you, do follow it by all means, because Sharia is not against falakiyat if it is properly computed. So I'm telling you, I'm not ruling out Eid on Thursday, but it can only be Thursday if you get information from countries westwards, and that will only be possible after 12:30, inshallah ta'ala. Wassalamu alaikum wa